Welcome. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. In honor of your time, you could be anywhere in this wild world of ours. So my name's Dan, and I'm here with my lovely business partner, Nyle. And thank you, Nyle, for hosting this meeting tonight. And I am super excited to present this information to you. When I first heard this, I was blown away, for the simple fact that I realized that if this was true, that it could actually benefit the life of every mammal on this planet. And so we're going to spend quite a bit of time tonight getting into how that's even possible. But I want to share my story first. I was introduced to all of this last year, and at the same time, I was building a coaching practice, helping people to invite more love into their life and in their relationships. And really, I first heard this, and I just knew that I wanted to experience the benefit of these things for themselves, just in my body and feeling the response of my cells to what this nutrigenomics has to offer. And over time, I slowly realized what was happening to me on the level of my own health and wellness. My energy levels soared, my sleep improved, my digestion is regulated. Acne scars I've had for half my life started to disappear off my face. Dandruff I had for years disappeared practically overnight. And I realized that the business aspect of this is something that truly does maximize and leverage freedom in people's lives. And it has in my life as well. So tonight we're going to talk about how all of that is possible and introduce to you an emerging $17 billion market. That's a B, not an M. And this company that is at the forefront of that $17 billion market of nutrigenomics, why it's in perfect position to dominate, and how you can take advantage of the incredible opportunity that's here that is really only going to be here for so long. So we're going to start with an ABC News clip that aired back in 2005 that really started it all. I'll say it's a little antiquated, so it's old. 14 years is a long time, guys. But it's also a long time for things to happen from there. So as you watch this, I want you to ask yourself, one, if you had the opportunity to pioneer this over the world as a business opportunity, would you be open for that? And also, two, who do you know that needs this? Who do you know that can use this information? So I'm going to ask Nyle to go ahead and run the clip.
Okay. Tonight on ABC's Primetime Live, co-anchor John Quinones takes the promising antioxidant therapy called Protandim.
It's not a drug. It's a supplement. It's called Protandim, and it's a combination of 5 exotic plants that have been around for centuries.
Quinones has been taking Protandim for 2 weeks now and tells Extra,
I am sleeping better. I feel a lot better, and also energized when I do wake up.
Primetime puts Protandim to the test tonight.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. Inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist. This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Body
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress. And we all have it. And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
So we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me?
The scientific evidence is there. The pieces seem to make sense. The question is, does this translate into something that humans can take advantage of?
So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic.
There's a huge human experience with each of these ingredients. They've been used often in traditional medicine in India and China and many other cultures, in some cases centuries and centuries.
And so, ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks, even mental disease. Yes, depression, Alzheimer's disease, depression.
We make no claims about curing any disease or preventing any disease.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed. The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe.
Okay. So, from that, we're going to be talking tonight about the company's story, about all of the products, and also how you can benefit from all of this information. But streamlining right from that video that you just saw, the big elephant in the room is, like, what is oxidative stress? And quite plainly, it is damage to our cells. You know, if you cut an apple in half, like you see here, and you leave it on the counter, what's going to happen is it's going to turn brown, and it's going to shrivel up, and it's going to get gross. And that's actually like what's happening to our cells all the time. It's a natural process. When we eat food and we metabolize it, and our cells process that energy, oxidative stress is a part of that. The bigger problem here is that in this modern day, what's actually happening is we're experiencing more of it than we did before, because there's all these toxins in the air. There's all these toxins in our food and our water. EMFs are everywhere. Who knows what 5G, you know, really is? That seems to be controversial now, right? But the thing is we do have to protect ourselves, and oxidative stress is a huge part of this. So because our cells break down in this way, it's actually, just like Dr. McCord said, one of the key parts of not just the aging process, but also hundreds of different malfunctions and breakdown patterns in the body. If you go on PubMed.gov and you search just oxidative stress, there's at least 200,000 peer-reviewed studies on that topic alone. I can't even imagine how much money that is going into understanding this phenomena of oxidative stress. And as you saw from the video, what happened with John Quinones is that Protandim was something that decreased his oxidative stress by 45%. And we actually have 26 peer-reviewed studies now that verify that information in completely different ways. So that simple fact that Protandim can do that is something that institutions like the American Heart Association, like Johns Hopkins, are calling a breakthrough. So why is it a breakthrough, right? When we talk about oxidative stress, we have to talk about free radicals. And free radicals are the reason for oxidative stress. We eat that food, or we get those toxins, and 300 septillion of these little things get released, and they bounce around our cells every day. Septillion, so 3 septillion, that's a 3 with 26 zeros behind it, an unfathomably large number. And that's how many of these things are bouncing around, causing all this damage to our cells. So in order to counteract this problem, because doctors and scientists have known about this for so long, is there's been this health craze. If you've watched Oprah or Dr. Oz or Dr. Phil or all these people, they are talking about antioxidants. And antioxidants, in what they are, if you eat a cherry or a blueberry and you drink your smoothies, what's actually happening is you are neutralizing some free radicals. It's about 1 free radical neutralized for every 1 molecule of antioxidant. But because there's 300 septillion of these suckers, you can't eat enough cherries or blueberries. It's simply impossible to actually make a dent in the amount of oxidative stress that we have and the number of free radicals that are in our system. So the difference between these antioxidants, as we know them, and what Protandim does is Protandim is an NRF2 activator, which means that it activates a gene pathway that's in our cells that allows our cells to manufacture naturally the enzymes that are designed by nature, by our bodies, by our cells, to eat up these free radicals by the hundreds of thousands per second. So if you kind of like compare the two, like what antioxidants do and what Protandim as an NRF2 activator does, is the antioxidants are a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 molecule for 1 free radical. Protandim is 1,000,000 to 1. If you had to use a metaphor to describe this, you could say that the difference between using Protandim and using an antioxidant is like throwing a Dixie cup of water on a house fire versus turning on the sprinkler system. So based on what oxidative stress is, what we went over, and what Protandim is proven to do, who needs it? The simple question is everybody. So with that, I'm going to hand the floor over to Nyle, the host of this meeting, my amazing business partner, who is going to start off the rest of this presentation by going over our company story. Nyle introduced this to me. Nyle is an incredibly talented healer, an occupational therapist, an expert myofascial release practitioner. They built their Lifevantage business as a single mother of 3 children, which just goes to show you if you can balance a full-time healing practice and be a single mom of 3 kids. Yeah. You want to listen to this amazing human being.
Thank you, Dan. It is such an honor and a pleasure to work with someone like you. You're so smart, and I'm just in awe at how young you are. You're 25?
Yep.
Yeah, 25, and just so articulate and brilliant. And you got this right away. You understood the science, and you understood the importance of sharing it right away. And that's exactly who I'm looking for as a business partner. So I'm in such gratitude that you said yes and you're doing this with me. Thank you. You did amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, Nyle.
Yeah. So I'm going to share a little bit more about my story later, but right now I'm going to get into the company story a little bit. And this is very relevant because I think it's really important to understand that this company was built on an ABC News clip. And it was built out of a need to get information out there to people about something that everyone needed and nobody knew about. So when that news clip aired back in 2005, millions of dollars of orders came into ABC News overnight. The issue was there was nobody to fill those orders because what the company was at the time was a small biotech company ran by Dr. McCord and a couple other people in lab coats. So they had no infrastructure in place to actually fill those sales. But overnight, $5 million worth of orders came in. The stock shot up from $1 a share to over $20 a share just on speculation about what Protandim was going to do in people's bodies. So because of that response, they did try to get it out to the people, to the public. And what they did is they ended up putting it in retail shelves. So in 2005, sorry, I'm backtracking because I don't want to get ahead of myself. In 2005, when that news clip aired, you could actually start to find Protandim in GNC and vitamin shops and apothecaries throughout the country, just as an effort to get the bottles out there. What also happened was independent researchers and major institutes like research universities started contacting Dr. McCord and asked if they could study Protandim. So these were self-funded, independent, quality-controlled studies. Some of the institutions are like LSU. They did a skin cancer study where they ground up Protandim and put it in a paste on mice, and they tested whether or not Protandim would decrease tumorigenesis in mice, and it was found to do so. Ohio State did a cardiovascular study and published it in the American Heart Association, which was unheard of because the American Heart Association doesn't endorse all natural supplements. So that went out to everybody who had a subscription to Cardiovascular Magazine at the time. So it was a really big deal. And to be honest, these independently funded, quality-controlled studies is the reason I joined this business, because as a researcher, as somebody with a master's of science, that was what mattered to me. I didn't really care about the personal testimonials. I think anyone can come up with a personal testimonial. Independently funded studies like this is unheard of. And as Dan said, we had over 26 of them. So that was a really big deal for me. So I had mentioned that Protandim went on retail shelves in 2005 as a response to this huge and the huge consumerism that happened from the news clip in 2005. The issue was it didn't sell. It only sold like half a bottle per store per month for like 4 years, from 2005 to 2009. And honestly, it's not that we didn't need it, because the response at the time of the airing of the clip definitely showed that this is something people wanted. It was because once it was out there on retail shelves, no commercial could really do justice as to what this was. There was nothing like this at the time. As Dan had mentioned, this is not anything that had currently existed. This is not a direct antioxidant. This is something called an NRF2 activator, which I'm going to go over a little bit more when I go over the products. But at the time, somebody who worked in a GNC shop couldn't explain to a consumer what a NRF2 activator was. They were used to selling a direct antioxidant like a bottle of vitamin C. And Protandim was selling for $40 at the time. I think it was like $45, close to $50 on a retail market. And vitamin C was like $13.95 for a huge bottle. So that's why it didn't sell. So in 2009, they realized they had to switch up the infrastructure. They switched it to a network marketing platform. And here's why. 2005, ABC did an investigative report totally independently, and it yielded nothing but positive results. It showed people something that we all needed and we had no idea existed. At the time, from 2005 to 2009, those studies were then coming out, which was showing what Protandim was doing clinically in people's bodies. National Institute of Aging did a study on male mice showing that it extended life by 7% and increased the quality of life over the time that they took it. And then people were also having amazing, miraculous experiences on this. So in those 4 years, there was a story developing that needed to be shared. And the company realized that the only way to get that story out to people was through network marketing. This is really, really key here, you guys, because as far as I know, this is the only network marketing company that existed after the product was already developed. We are a network marketing company developed around a product that everyone needs to know about. We're not a network marketing company looking to make money and developing products. Does that make sense? That's really important, and it tells you a lot about the scientific basis, foundation of this company, and also the integrity of this company and the heart-centeredness. So in 2009, we switched to a network marketing platform, and then the company was then able to really take off. So we went from making about $3 million in the first year to now over $200 million today. So now that we are in a network marketing platform starting in 2009 to 2019, in these past 10 years, we've really started to grow our solid foundation, and we're looking for like-minded people who are looking to share this person to person. When I first heard about this, it was 5 years ago. It was shared with me by a physical therapist colleague of mine. And the first thing that I thought was, this is my moral obligation to share it with people. So I'm going to go over the company and the business with you, just so that if you are looking at sharing this with other people, you can understand what's really involved with that. The company itself is called Lifevantage. We are a publicly traded company. We've been publicly traded from the beginning. There are hundreds and hundreds of network marketing companies. We are one of only 50 network marketing companies that are publicly traded. Why that's important is because of the transparency. So our ticker is LFVN. If you're interested in looking at the stock on the NASDAQ, you can see over in the upper right-hand corner, we are doing very, very well. We are attracting attention from some very large investors. And a lot of that is because what you'll find out later is we're in the formulation and pioneering stage of really pioneering this idea of biohacking the body, and basically taking something all natural and turning on the body's ability to do something that it's designed to do, but it stopped doing for whatever reason. So we're at the forefront of that biohacking. So the stock couldn't be any better than it is right now. When I first joined the company about 5 years ago, we were in about 8 countries. Now we're in over 12 different markets, 15 different countries, which you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, all the countries we've opened up in. One of the reasons for that is because about 3 years ago, our company switched our management. So when the company first started in network marketing, we kept the same management that we had when we were a retail company. And those retail big businessmen were used to retail sales. And so for the first 3 years, we kind of flatlined. And then in 2005, I think it was 2006, we brought in a professional network marketing guru. His name is Darren Jensen. And between him and the CFO of the company, the two of them combined have over 25 years of experience taking small network marketing companies from the millions of dollars to the billions of dollars. So he specifically came to our company 3 years ago with the intention of taking our small little $200 million biotech company or biohacking company from the $200 million level to the $1 billion level. And so we've opened up in 15 countries since he's been with us. We were in, I think, like 8 when he first joined. So he's pretty much doubled that since he's been with us. Why does that matter? Because in a network marketing model, a rising tide raises all ships. It's not just the management that benefits from this. We all have stake in how much money this company makes. So you want to get in with a company that's growing and that's early to the market. We're also the sponsors of Real Salt Lake Soccer, which you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, our logos on the jersey. We are cleared by the Banned Substance Control Group to be a product that professional athletes and Olympians can take, and they do take this, and Real Salt Lake certainly does. And in fact, we kind of use them as our guinea pigs when we do a lot of our research. So a lot of our athlete research comes out of Real Salt Lake. Another thing you want to be looking at if you are looking at investing in this as a business is the trends. You don't necessarily want to get involved with something that's not going to be around in 5 to 10 years. The side business, as I've seen it, is something that is growing. I was very anti-network marketing when I first saw this 5 years ago. I thought network marketing was something that people who can't get a real job did. I'm sorry. But here I sit 5 years later, and that was very ignorant of me. In those 5 years, I've done a lot of research. I've really learned that network marketing is the future. And you can see, the side gig in general has really become a major trend, especially for entrepreneurs who want something different in their lives. Uber, Airbnb, Facebook, Amazon are all different platforms where people are starting to look at a side gig for themselves because 95% of Americans can't retire. So they have to start taking on odd jobs like Uber. One of the cool things that I just learned about at our last company event was the CFO of Uber and Airbnb sit on a board with our CFO and our president, Darren Jensen. And they were talking about how Lifevantage is actually blowing their companies out of the water as the up-and-coming side gigs. And there are reasons for that. One of them is that we are pioneering something very original. Another is that we tend to attract influencers and pioneers ourselves because we are the type of people who want something different for the world. And we know that this is the platform for that. We also want something different for us. And this is a better way than trading your hours for dollars by driving Uber or renting out your basement. So, these are just some network marketing facts to kind of show how the trends have grown since 2011 to 2017. And, I was looking at this as a business in 2011, and it really wasn't right for me at first. And now I'm very happy I said yes. I'll get into my story a little bit later. But I'm following the trends probably for the first time in my entire life. So I'm going to go over each one of the products in a little bit, but I think one of the cool things to take note of is every one of our products is at the forefront of a different category in network marketing. So the anti-aging is over a $300 billion industry. Skincare is over a $121 billion industry. We have hair care, pet care, energy market, and weight loss. Each one of those is over $1 billion industry on its own. And we have something category creating in each industry, and it's all a spring off from Protandem. So I'm going to get into that a little bit now. Let's talk specifically about Protandem, NRF2 activation, or NRF2 synergizer. There's the bottle there. You can see it's a little blue bottle. This is what got me into the business. Honestly, I was going to share this whether or not I was going to do the business. The only reason I said yes to the business is because I wanted something different for my life and for my family. And I knew that if I didn't start digging the well before I was thirsty, it wasn't going to happen. I saw the hope that this was going to bring to my family and to my life, but I was going to share this regardless. I started taking it as soon as I learned about it. I started telling my family members as soon as I started taking it. And it's been life-changing for my mom as well. I'm actually hoping on a future Zoom I can get her on here, but she gave me permission to talk a little bit about her story. She is 65 and she has early onset Parkinson's. She was diagnosed 10 years ago. Those of you who know Parkinson's and know how it affects your body, it's progressive. There's no cure. And really the best thing you can do is palliative care and hope to prevent and prolong their lives. Early onset is the worst diagnosis, but she's been on it for 5 years and her symptoms have not progressed in those 5 years. And her neurologist is actually floored by it. So again, I'm hoping at some point I can bring her on to share her story, but she was the very first person I got on this. Just to make sure, again, you understand what this is and how this is different. The ingredients are turmeric, ashwagandha, milk thistle, bacopa, and green tea. But what's important to understand is that it's not those specific ingredients that makes this what it is. It is the synergistic combination of those 5 ingredients that makes it 18 times more powerful than any one of those ingredients on their own. In fact, if you were to take just the dose of turmeric that's in the bottle, it's subtherapeutic on its own, which is why some people who have an allergy to, say, for example, milk thistle can still take this, because milk thistle it's subtherapeutic in the tablet. This is 40 years worth of research on Dr. McCord's part to figure out how to get these 5 ingredients to synergize together in order to turn on our body's own ability to make specific enzymes that lower oxidative stress. In fact, one of our first studies on PubMed.gov shows that this lowers oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days, and then it's closer to 70% in about 3 months, 120 days. And then it stays that low for the life of the time that you take this. So this is a forever thing. This is a lifestyle change. And as you stay on this, we don't know what this is going to do in the future, but I promise you, you couldn't pay me to stop taking this, because I already know what my genes look like and I'm not taking any chances. So here's a study that's actually on PubMed that shows how the ingredients, when they're synergized and combined, they're 18 times more powerful than if you were to take them individually, so the sum of their parts. So the company has also put out something called a NRF1 activator. So the NRF2 activator lowers oxidative stress dramatically. It's something everybody needs. We have more oxidative stress now than we did 20 years ago. The NRF1 activator came out about a year ago, And so this just goes to show our company is still doing research on how to improve cellular health, and they're putting out new products. The NRF1 activator is known for its ability to upregulate mitochondria. Why this is a big deal is still being discovered, but mitochondrial health is the next buzzword. We were addressing oxidative stress before anybody knew what oxidative stress was. We are now addressing mitochondrial health before anyone knows what mitochondrial health is. Chronic fatigue syndrome is a product of mitochondrial dysfunction. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It produces ATP, which is what's responsible for peak cellular performance. As we age, we make fewer mitochondria. This is the only thing that I know of on the market that actually increases mitochondria. And the ingredients are at the bottom of the screen here too. You can also see they are all natural ingredients. Alpha lipoic acid is a supplement that a lot of people with mental health disorders take, people with autoimmune disorders and chronic fatigue. Again, it's not about the sum of the parts. It's about the synergy that when you combine those 5 ingredients at the bottom together, what it does inside the cell. That is what biohacking is. So I'm going to go over a gut health product that came out called ProBio. There are a lot of probiotics on the market. Why this one is unique is that more of the bacteria actually gets into the the small intestines, and then the large intestines, than a regular probiotic. So I didn't know this when I first joined, but only 4% of a regular probiotics bacteria gets into the gut, whereas ours is 40%. And that's because we have something called BioTract, which is a patented coating that allows it to bypass and get in all the way. We also have an omega. This is omega-3, omega-7, EPA, DHA, and D3. These 4 things that I'm going over right now are critical for cellular health. Everyone needs them in their bodies. So the company knows this. We're mostly comprised of doctors who are looking at ways to prolong life and to improve quality of life so that we're not sick when we get older, because sickness is not a normal part of aging. It's a byproduct because of our lifestyle and the way we're treating our planet. It doesn't have to be this way. So these 4 products are essential for cellular health. Why? And everything we put out is the best of their category. Why this one is so good is because it's literally boat to bottle. It goes from the fish to the bottle within 8 hours. So it's not rancid like a lot of omegas that you take. It also has specific types of omegas that you can't find in food. So these 4 products are combined together in something called a Vitality Stack. And you can get them combined for $149 when you go on a subscription order, and then you get free shipping for them. $149 for all 4 of them. The company also really makes sure that things are accessible to people because they understand that this is not just for the elite. This is a skincare system. So this is one of the categories of the billions of dollars in the anti-aging market. Skincare on its own is one of the largest anti-aging markets that we have. I was never really interested in skincare. Not that I don't need it, because I'm almost 40, so I do. It's that I'm a redhead, and traditional skincare products, my skin will know if there's anything synthetic in it, and it will immediately break out. So I avoided skincare. What I learned about this one and why this is different is because it's not actually bloating the tissue like a traditional retinol or like anti-aging cream. It's regenerating the skin, and it's protecting the skin on a cellular level and reorganizing the dermal layers. I actually recommend this to my patients with scar tissue because it softens the scar tissue and regenerates healthy tissue. So it's something that they can massage in themselves, like if they've had a mastectomy or something, they can massage it in themselves, and it's a really good way for them to do their own scar tissue management. But you can see it in the bottom right-hand corner. This is actually, it actually works. So that's a 60-day before and after of using all 4 pieces. The 4-piece regimen is $140 for the anti-aging cream, eye serum, soap, and a serum. And this is also a picture, a before and after picture of managing oxidative stress on the inside with the Nerf 2 pill, and then on the outside with the skincare cream. So 30 days before and after of the inside and outside approach, this lowered oxidative stress in this person's body, and that's the before and after results. Axio is actually something I'm drinking right now. It hasn't replaced my coffee because coffee tastes amazing. But this is actually nothing like coffee, which I didn't know at first. It is an energy drink, except it's smart energy, and it's actually more considered brain food because it has L-theanine, quercetin, pine bark extract, DMAE. DMAE was the original Ritalin before Ritalin came out. So it does things like balance the brain, organize the brain centers, boost mood, regulate the sleep-wake cycle. So when you take it every day, it actually does regulate your nervous system. And they have it's $50 a pack, a box, and you get 30 little packs that you can mix in your water. So for a 30-day supply, it's $50. It comes out to a little over $1 per pack, which is a lot cheaper than a $3.50 grande latte. And they come in different flavors. You can actually get them in decaf also. I really I recommend these to kids a lot. I work with kids as well as an occupational therapist, and I have 3 of my own because of the ability to regulate the brain versus stimulate the brain. It's really good for kids who have difficulty with self-regulation and attention. And they have it in decaf if you're not looking to give your kid caffeine. They also have Pet Tandem for dogs. It has a couple extra things in it for joint health and heart health and skin health. And then they have a physique line as well. My favorite part of this 3-system line is the prebiotic. It's the newest product that just came out. So now we have a prebiotic and a probiotic. The prebiotic kind of lines the gut and provides basically the soil for the nutrition that you eat. So if you're having leaky gut and trouble with the things you're eating, that's not getting absorbed, a prebiotic is really what you should be looking at. So you can see in the 3-part set there, it's a prebiotic, a fat burner, and a whey protein. You mix the prebiotic powder in your drink, you drink it, and it kind of curbs your sugar cravings because it's naturally regulating your gut, not because it's suppressing anything unnaturally. And then the fat burner is citrus-based, so it helps to burn visceral fat, which is the fat around your organs, which that visceral fat is responsible for cardiovascular dysfunction. That's what causes heart disease as we age. So this is specifically designed to target the fat around your gut. And then the whey protein helps to kind of flip what's getting burned. So now the fat's getting burned and the muscle's getting built, if that makes sense. And you can see in the bottom left-hand corner there's a before and after picture of 6 weeks on this physique system. I did the physique system for 2 months, and I lost about 15 pounds after my 3rd baby. The product that came out, the second to the last product that came out, and by the way, these just came out like months ago, this past fall. That's how early we are as a company. So True Science hair care, what I didn't know is that most of our hair care is toxic, and our scalp is the most absorbent part of our body. So what you'll find with this is it's one of the cleanest systems that exists. And there's an app called the Think Dirty app that you can download, and you can plug in the products you're using and see where they fall in terms of how toxic they are. And then you can plug this in and see it's one of the cleanest hair care products on the market. There's also some really incredible things happening since it's been out. You can see the before and after pictures. On the left-hand side there, you can see this is just from organizing the skin cells, from allowing the follicles that already exist to be more healthy. And then on the right, that's after 3 washes. This kind of psoriasis of the scalp disappeared after 3 washes. This one's incredible. We were not expecting this at all. And what we found out is this is not regrowing hair. I want to be very clear about that. What this is doing is making the follicles that do exist healthy again. So if you have very thin, brittle follicles, they're already there. They're just not, it doesn't look like there's any hair there. When you start using this, you can start to see that hair look healthy again. So it's a thickening process that happens. Between day 1 and day 26, this is each person is about a month, except all the way on the right there, that's after 1 week. That person is actually very young. So they had a lot of hair that just the follicles weren't doing what they were supposed to. So you're going to get the results that your body's designed to get when you take the pressure off the system. Does that make sense? Okay, so those are the products. But what I want to say, I learned much, much later. So I'm a huge science nerd. I was not interested in the business at first, especially because it was network marketing. The reason I said yes to this was because I needed something different. When I saw the timing and what I was truly looking at, I knew this was going to be, if I was going to do network marketing, this was the only one I was going to say yes to. And it's because we're in a perfect storm. It's the right products. It's the right time. Everybody needs these. You go on an auto ship subscription. You're not selling month after month. You're sharing from your heart, and you're knowing that you're changing people's lives. And then when you find out that we're actually early to the market, it's like the unicorn of network marketing. It shouldn't be real, but it is, which unicorns are real. Shh, quiet. Right, Dan? Unicorns are real. So when you're looking at any business, but especially a network marketing business, you really want to look at the timing. If you're not early, then you're going to be selling. You're going to be trying to convince people why they should be buying your oil and not somebody else's oil. But when you are early to market and no one knows about it yet, then all you're really doing is educating people on something that exists and that they need to know about. People who study network marketing, like Robert Kiyosaki, said that it's the first 135,000 distributors who join a network marketing company that become the next millionaires in that company. We sit at between 85 and 90,000 active distributors right now. Okay. So we're under the 135,000 mark. In other words, Dan and I, and Diane, I see Diane's on here too, we are the next millionaires in this company. And so it is. So you can see we're still, if you kind of look at this curve here, this is called an S curve, or Peter Drucker's S curve. The people who are the early adopters and the innovators, when you join from that place, those are the ones who make the most money. We have not hit momentum yet. We need over 135,000 distributors in order to hit momentum. We're looking for the ones who are looking to share this and who are looking to lock arms with us. This is the money we make in the company. You can see on the left there, those are the ranks of the distributor. So there's distributor through executive master pro 10. And then the next column over is the annual average earnings. And the next column over is the monthly average earnings. You can find this on lifevantage.com in the bottom right-hand corner of our website under resources. If you want to take a look at this for yourself. This is the most updated one. I downloaded the most updated PowerPoints before going on Zoom today. And I think the key thing to note here is you can do as much or as little with this as you want. Another key thing to note here is if you go all the way to the bottom right-hand corner, $110,000 a month is not something you can typically do in a few years. This is a platform for that. And when I saw this, what I thought was, I get to dream bigger faster. And without this, I'm just going to be doing the same thing in 10 years that I was doing at the time of seeing this. This is a way out for some people. And for me, it 100% was. I think it's important for me to share my background so that you understand why there's an occupational therapist sitting on here talking about a business, a network marketing resistant occupational therapist at that. At the time when this was shared with me 5 years ago, I had a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old, and I had a house that was getting foreclosed on. What happened was I had my own private practice, and I had built it up from the ground on my own. It was a pediatric OT practice for kids with sensory processing disorder. And when I had my second baby, 3 days after she was born, I got an email from my business partner who I collaborated with. He said he was buying me out, and I didn't have a contract in place to prevent that from happening, and he didn't care. So he had me between a rock and a hard place, and he knew that. And rather than me arguing, I gave up. I gave up my dream. And sorry. And I also didn't get a chance to bond with my baby because I had to go back to work. I had 3 months to figure it out. I had saved for 3 months. And I had to use those 3 months to rebuild. And I didn't do it. I couldn't do it. So 3 months turned into 6 months, and 6 months turned into a year. And because I was the primary breadwinner of the household, because my husband at the time worked for a small nonprofit for kids with developmental differences, it was God's work, but it didn't pay the bills. We were dependent on me. And instead of bonding with my 3-day-old, I was rebuilding a practice. And here she is, 6 years old today. And you can see the difference in our relationship because I wasn't there. So I needed this. The thing is, the person who shared it with me at the time didn't know. He didn't know that. He just liked me. He just wanted to work with me. He wanted to partner with me. He didn't know that I had a burning desire for change. And so for me, this was a perfect storm. And 5 years later, just from sharing this from my heart, person to person, I shared with a chiropractor. She's now a Pro 6 in the business. Pro 6 makes a little over $5,000 a month. I'm a Pro 5 in the business, so I'm making less than her. So you can't say this is a pyramid scheme. So I'm a Pro 5 in the business, making about $3,000 a month. And today that $3,000 a month pays my mortgage. So there will never be another foreclosure notice on my door. So yeah, I invite you to dream bigger, faster, and dig the well before you're thirsty. I know that sounds so cliche, but I'm very representative of what that means. So these are the ways we get paid in the company. There are 6 different ways. 3 of them are residual, meaning you do the work one time and then you get paid month after month. We get paid weekly for bonuses. So when you share this with somebody and they decide to join as a distributor, you make a 40% bonus the following week. So you get paid for building your business in the beginning. And then over time, as those people start sharing, and you're seeing right now how we share. You invite someone to a Zoom and someone else shares with them. And then when they join, they start building their business and you make 10% of their check every month. And then you also make 40% of all new sales that come into the business. And because we're an auto ship business, you also make a percentage of every month's worth of auto ship that rolls through your business. There are people I shared with 5 years ago who are still on auto ship because just like me, you couldn't pay them to stop taking this once they realize what it is. So you do the work once, you get paid month after month after month. In 5 years, I haven't done more work. I've done the consistent same amount of work, but my check has doubled over the past 2 years. There's a system to this. I talked a little bit already about how this is one way to do the system. Another way is you think of someone you want to share this with, you show them the news clip, and then you introduce them to a business partner. You are not alone. If you say yes to this business, you're not alone in this business by any means. You have access to like 6 to 10 of us who will help you build this business. We'll lock arms with you. We'll teach you a simple system called the Proven Plan, and we'll run with you all the way to the finish line. You also get a free website. You pay for it in the beginning when you first sign up for the business, and then you never pay for it again after that. Okay, so there's a couple different categories you might fall into at this point. If you are interested in purchasing the product, get with the person who introduced this to you, and they can give you their website information and you can order. If you order the Vitality Stack, which I highly recommend starting with, then anything you order, including the Vitality Stack, becomes free in that order. I also recommend getting on auto ship and giving your body a chance to really experience this in your body. 30 days is just the starting point. For every decade old you are, you want to give it that many months in your body to really help allow your body to turn the ship around. So stay on auto ship, give it a good go in your body. If you are looking to join the company, there are 3 packs that you can enroll with. The silver pack is $350, and you get a little bit of a few different supplies. That's more for people who are looking for some product and they want to get a discount on the products up front. We all get the same discount on our products. You're not incentivized for being a distributor versus a customer. We all get the same price, but you can get a discount if you get one of these starter packs. So the silver pack, which isn't shown here, is $350. It's about a 20% savings. And then the gold pack here is $650. It shows you all the things, all the products that come in there. And you also get a corporate event pass, because at this point you're really looking to grow your business and you need to start to plug in a little bit and get some training. The platinum pack is $1,250, and you get all the products that we have. So you get a whole product experience. You get 2, I guess this is 1 all-access ticket to a corporate event. And then you get all of these assets on the right here with both of those packs. This is to get your business started. So I guess I'll kind of just close with this. I talked a lot about dreaming bigger, faster, and really what that means for me. This company is not for everyone. This business in general, entrepreneurship in network marketing isn't for everybody. A lot of people are, spending the first half of their lives learning a trade, and then the majority of their years doing that trade, and then a small amount of time at the end hoping that they get to retire and live their lives a little bit. But by then, they're older and they don't really have the vitality and energy to do what they could have done, 40 years ago. with LifeVantage, what I'm finding is that you spend the first 20 years learning a trade, but then you're earning and learning at the same time for about the same amount of time. Then you're just living your life. And you're still sharing this information. I mean, everybody needs it, but you're really just living your life. And I'm just going to ask you, if you could do anything in the world, anything you wanted right now, what would you do? LifeVantage is one of the only platforms that will really allow you to answer that. So even if you don't choose LifeVantage, I really do encourage you to choose something. Never depend on one single income. You never know when you're going to need that residual check. So have it in place now. And if it's not LifeVantage, I encourage you to really explore what it could be. Okay, well, thank you all so much. I am going to go ahead and leave the meeting now. If you're looking for more information, Margaret, please reach out to me and let me know what you'd like your next step to be. And if you're watching this on a recording, please reach out to the person who shared this with you and let them know what you want your next step to be. It could be nothing. Just let us know. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.